Okay, I'm reloading.
All right, what's good? What's good? We back in the building. 3kingsboxing.com, 2K the Prodigy, man. We about to break this David Benavidez, Anthony Yarde card all the way down to the white meat, man. Of course, I got some cats joining me. My man Bo, y'all know who that is, the old man of the crew. Got my man Corey. Got my man the ugly Zoe, the ugliest nigga on the planet. And then, of course, I got my man J.L. Davis. You can't say his name no other way. If I see corny motherfuckers come in my chat, J.L. Davis. That's not how you say his name. You gotta say J.L. Davis. You gotta put it. You gotta split it up, dog. That's how you say that nigga name, bro. What's going on, fellas? Man, y'all ready to break this down?
Yeah, man, niggas ready.
Do it.
Yeah, man. So here's the deal, man. And we haven't done this since Canelo. Terrence Crawford, and the biggest reason is because I'm just flat out say it. Boxing is pissing me off and has been pissing me off for quite some time. I mean, we got, dudes ducking at a high level. We got garbage matchups happening all over the place. I mean, you got prospects, fighting dudes that they know they're gonna knock them out within two rounds and shit. And a lot of people are gonna say, hey, that's what's supposed to happen. You build your prospect up. You put him in fights that he's going to win. But the problem is these guys are sitting here like 30-0 still fighting dudes like that. Like Brandon Lee. I was thinking about him the other day. Where the fuck is he at? This dude been a prospect for like 15 years, man.
When the last time he fought?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. He just popped up in my head. I was like, damn, what happened to Brandon Lee? Like these dudes, man, I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. But at the end of the day, that's kind of where boxing has gone. So when this card popped up, you got some pretty good matchups, right? You got some guys that they're kind of still in the prospect phase, but they're highly ranked, so they're fighting for a vacant title, right? You got guys that are hungry as hell, right? One was a former undisputed champion. The other one's a newly crowned champion, fairly recent within the last year or so. They're both undefeated. You got those guys coming in. You got two smaller guys, right? Both have been champions for a little while. One is a pound for pound fighter. The other guy's trying to say or put his name up there as a pound for pound fighter. And those two guys are hungry as hell. And then, of course, you got Benavidez, who's in a tune-up, right? So at the end of the day, this card is actually pretty decent. It's one of the better cards that we've had this year. So that's why we're back in here breaking it down. So to start off with, man, we're going to go ahead and go down to the young kids, man. And we're going to break it down with Sam Noakes versus Abdullah Mason. Now, I don't care who jumps in. Anybody could jump in, but I'm going to put, some stats out there first. And then you guys take it away. Sam Noakes is 23-1 with 17 knockouts. He's 28 years old, 5'8", 74-inch reach. And then you got Abdullah Mason, 19-0, 17 knockouts, 21 years of age, 5'9", 74-inch reach. So anybody, go ahead and take it, man. What do you guys think about this fight?
This is the most competitive fight in the entire card. When I look at this fight, I feel like Abdullah Mason has all the athletic advantages. He's quicker. He's flashier. He got quicker feet. But we see him against lower level guys make mistake and get dropped. He trusts his reflexes too much and 50-50 exchanges, and he gets hit by low level guys. So I'm interested to see what happened when he fights Dalton. I keep getting this cracker's name wrong. Sam Noakes. Now, Sam Noakes, his resume is not all that, but he has fought the top level, European guys at that level. That's at a higher level than what Abdullah Mason's been fighting. But in terms of fight breakdown, they both have a habit of reaching in when they jab. They both make the same mistake. The difference is, I feel Sam Noakes do a way better job of covering those mistakes when he's reaching in. He knows how to do punch traffic. He knows how to get inside and pivots his ways inside. He knows how to put his hands on top of your head, put your head down. He know how to control your head. He know how to do all this shit. I think he might, when the fight gets to the inside, I think Sam Noakes is going to dominate him when it gets on the inside. It's going to be Abdullah Mason's job to try to keep it on the outside. But too many times I have seen low-level guys get on the inside on him and beat him. So with this fight, I think I'm taking Sam Noakes by 8th round TKO.
Damn.
Damn.
All right.
Yeah.
And this is why I like it, bro, because these takes my man be having just have dudes like, what in the fuck is he talking about? What you what you got? What you got, Jay? What you got, Jay?
Bro, honestly, like I was with Zoe for a minute, you know what I mean, until the prediction, until you dropped the prediction. I think that Abdullah Mason's athletic ability is going to just take over the fight. I was with I was agreeing with Zoe all the way up until that prediction, but I just think that Noakes, him fighting high Europeans doesn't really say much to in my opinion. Because when a lot of the Europeans come to America to get their ass beat. So in my humble opinion, I think Abdullah Mason is going to take him out in about 10 rounds. I do think it will be competitive for the first half of the fight. And I think the athletic ability of Abdullah Mason is just going to take over, and he's just going to take him out in the 10th.
What you got, Corey?
Zoe had me in the beginning, and yeah, I don't know where he went left, but I'm still jaw dropped over that. But I just think Abdullah Mason, the thing I really like about him is he's very composed. So he's not gonna so if he gets hit here or there, he's not gonna be tripping out, which is why he's kind of ready for stepping up. And the other thing is he's like that when the gap in athleticism is just too crazy in this fight. And the other thing is we're talking about a guy that he's fighting somebody that we haven't seen out here deal with physicality. So I think, Abdullah Mason might have a rough patch here or there, but I can't see anything other than mid-round stoppage in that fight.
Yeah. What do you got, Bo?
Well, here's the thing, man. Listen, Noakes undefeated and he has power, so that's something Abdullah Mason hasn't done with. But typically, what I like to do is I take a guy's best win and I compare it to another guy's best win and how they look. So you got Sam Noakes. He fought Yvonne Mendy. I don't look at Ryan Walsh as anybody, but Yvonne Mendy is always a bridesmaid, but never a bride, right? But still, it was a fight. So he got in there and he dominated, but he won by decision. But here's the problem. I saw Yvonne Mendy landing some punches because Sam Noakes does not move his head. He stays on the center line. Sam Noakes does not have footwork, which is something Abdullah Mason has. Then when you look at Abdullah Mason, you take when he fought Jeremiah Nakatila. Now Nakatila, because you talking about how Noakes fought high-level British guys, well, Nakatila has fought guys on the championship level. And when you look at what Abdullah Mason did with Nakatila, he actually he made that motherfucker stop fighting. And in that fight, what I saw, he was setting traps. He was punching hard to the body. He was countering. Ever since he had that draw in 2023 and people started doubting him, that boy has been on the chat knocking everybody out. So I don't think it's gonna be as competitive y'all think it is gonna be. I got a feeling that as soon as motherfucking Noakes start feeling that power to that body, it's gonna be all downhill, man. I got Abdullah Mason, man, 5th, 6th round knockout.
So we got 3 Abdullah Masons and we got Sam Noakes. Go ahead, Zoe.
I mean, and just a counterpoint to when we talk about level of opposition, the high level British, domestic level guys that I say Sam Noakes was fighting, at the very least were at 135 and not a bunch of motherfuckers that were dragging up in weights and you're not even impressively destroying them, but whatever, I digress.
Yeah, here's my deal though, man. Sam Noakes lost to Ted Cheeseman, bro. I know it was his first pro fight, but my thing is, he's not that much better. He's more comfortable, right? But he's not that much better as a fighter. Ted Cheeseman is not. He's one of the better UK fighters. Let me say mid-level better. like he's not a top UK fighter. He's a mid-level. You're like one of those guys that you got to get through to get to the next level in UK boxing. And Sam Noakes lost. So at the end of the day, bro, the thing with Noakes is he's robotic to me, man. He's a big puncher, right? He's got heavy hands. And his hands are so heavy that he stuns opponents on contact. Now, of course, these are UK, European opponents, right? These aren't anybody that is a top-level prospect like an Abdullah Mason, right? Nobody of that caliber. But when he hits these guys, it stuns them momentarily every time. Then he goes in for the kill. He's able to unleash so many different a variety of punches to be able to get them out of there, right? But at the end of the day, when he's going in for the kill, he's robotic. Bo mentioned he does not have head movement. He doesn't have upper body movement, right? He changes levels well, right? But that's when he's going in for the kill. That's when he's measuring people. Changing levels from mid-range distance against a guy like Abdullah Mason that can dictate the pace very well from the outside doesn't really mean shit. All you're doing is trying to gain leverage on your shots, right? And he's a slow puncher. Like Abdullah's got to be right there in front of him in his range for him to get off. And even then, Abdullah Mason's reflexes are so quick, I don't see how Sam Noakes can really touch him, right? Now, let me say this, and let me contradict myself. There is something I'm a little worried about when it does come to Abdullah Mason, and that's his fight with Johan Vasquez, right? You remember that, Zoe? That's the fight he got dropped twice in.
Twice.
Right? So, and he got dropped twice. Why? Because he was overzealous, coming in head first, right? Got caught by 2 check left hooks in both scenarios, going for the knockout. He can't do that against Sam Noakes. He can't go in there overzealous, right? Complacent in his offensive attack and forget about defense. He does that shit a lot, right? And that's a young man's mentality. Oh man, I'm fucking this boy up, bro. And they forget about the fundamentals on defense. See, he cannot do that against a big puncher like Noakes, or it can end up being a situation. What was that boy's name? Montana Love and that Australian guy, where Montana Love was getting his ass whooped, right? It could be a situation of Raymond Ford versus Nick Ball. Raymond Ford is left with his goddamn jaw drop. Like, how did I lose to this guy? Right? That could happen here with Abdullah Mason if he's not focused and not being overzealous with his offensive attack, right? But I agree 100% with Bo when he talks about who he's fought. Ryan Walsh is trash, and that's one of his best wins. Yvonne Mendy, like he said, he was the bridesmaid. He was never the bride, which means he never actually got, was ever to win the big test that he got. He was never to get that those major titles. They always eluded him. He would be the IBF Intercontinental, WBC Silver, right? WBA, Fecum Box. This nigga had all them types of titles. But when it came to the major ones, he could just never pass the test, right? And those are the 2 best wins that he has on his resume. I don't feel like Sam Noakes has the resume nor the experience, and he's older, right, to be able to deal with somebody of Abdullah Mason's caliber. It would have to be a situation where Mason has mentally checked out, or he just was never there mentally. He has some sort of breakdown, right, and allows Sam Noakes to take over the fight. He gets hit too hard, maybe, feels the power and says, fuck it. But he's already been hit hard and been knocked down and overcome adversity against Johan Vasquez. Not saying that Vasquez hits as hard as Noakes, but I'm just saying the adversity has gone. He's gone through it already. So I fully expect him to be able to handle Sam Noakes, even if he does get hit by something he doesn't see, even if he does get dropped, even if he does get buzzed or stunned. I got Abdullah Mason, man. I'm not going to say by knockout. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this goes the distance, but I got Abdullah Mason by unanimous decision, man. All right, man. Y'all got anything else on that one?
Yeah, I like to add in that I don't think him getting hit has anything to do with him overzealous. I think it has to do with he trusts his reflexes too much in 50-50 exchanges, and his IQ is not that high. So he can get caught and he can get had. And we seen it against D-level niggas consistent.
Man, the one thing though about him is he can fight off the back foot. I get what you're saying, right? But this is a fight that is really all about what Abdullah Mason is going to do. If he's going to sit in that mid range or in that phone booth distance and try to fight this guy's fight, he loses. But if he just does what his God-given talent allows him to do, which is judge distance from the outside, right? Use his quick feet. He can move backwards. He can move forwards. He can provide angles, right? They got the same reach event. They got the same reach, 74 inches, but Sam Noakes ain't using his fucking reach, right? Sam Noakes jabs, but it doesn't mean anything. He's just basically trying to set up some robotic ass right hand that he's coming over the top with.
I think from what I see from Sam Noakes, I think he jabs and he deliberately reaches in to try to get on the inside. That's what I'd be seeing from him. He uses a lot of punch traffic as far as defensive measures. That's what I see from him. So I don't think his jab. I don't think his jab is, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His jab is not anything that is going to set up any of his, like, against UK fighters. Yes, they're mesmerized by that whack ass jab and they get hit by something following it. Abdullah Mason, the jab's probably not even going to get in Abdullah Mason's range if he's fighting this fight correctly. All he's got to do is stay on the outside, right? And use that beautiful check right hook that he has, right? That check hook that he does when he's backing up. Guys come in, he backs up, check right hook, boom. He's knocked down and knocked out many guys with that same punch. He could easily turn Sam Noakes into a one-dimensional fighter. The whole time trying to get inside, trying to get in range, right, of the full 74 inches that Abdullah Mason would be using. He could do that to this guy, bro. So when I see that, right, I can acknowledge Sam Noakes has a lot of power. I can acknowledge that Sam Noakes jabs his way in, even though his jab isn't really effective, but he's doing it to get inside so he can try to, get his power shots off, basically. I can acknowledge that, but at the same time, if I got a fighter who's as quick as Abdullah Mason, has a fucking piston-like jab as Abdullah Mason, has the counter-punching ability, the fast reflexes, the quick feet, can fight on the back foot like Abdullah Mason, then all he needs to do is stay on the outside and turn this guy into a one-dimensional fighter. And it can easily be a shutout if he fights the right way. Given the fact that he, like I said, he's got the flaws and what you believe in terms of what got him knocked down twice against Vasquez, and what I believe, he's got those flaws, yes. But in this fight, right, he's already learned from his flaws against Vasquez. So this is really a testament to, hey, Abdullah, how much have you learned since you got knocked down twice? I think he's had 3 fights since then. How much have you learned since you got knocked down in that fight? How much have you learned against a guy that's going to be coming forward and trying to basically hit you with everything but the kitchen sink? Sam Noakes doesn't throw any light punches. Everything is a power punch with this guy. So how much have you learned in being able to defend yourself against that? This is really a testament to, is Abdullah Mason ready for the next level or is he not? I 100% think he is, man. You ain't got no rebuttal to that, Zoe?
I think you're underestimating the advantages Noakes is gonna have on the inside, and then I seen, like I said, outside of the Naka Waka, whatever the fuck that African nigga name is, outside of that shit, everybody had moments when they found the way inside, and I believe Noakes is better than all of them. So that's why I think the fight's gonna be fought out of real estate.
Yeah,
that's gonna be that advantageous for Abdullah Mason. I do think Abdullah Mason can destroy this nigga from the outside. I just don't think he has the ability to do that consistently, because I see lower level niggas fucking disrupt that. Even if it wasn't consistently, it might have been a 30-second spurt, a 20-second spurt. They fucking suck. It shouldn't have happened at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think a lot of that is the younger mentality, right? They want to put on a show. And that's that. If he's got the right team behind him, they're telling him, hey, this guy's too dangerous for you to be doing that. We need you to fight the way.
I don't think so. I think they said this is a British white guy that's slow. Go there and fuck. I think that's what they meant.
What I'm saying is his team needs to tell him that. I'm not saying they are saying that.
Okay,
I'm saying they need to tell him that this guy's too dangerous. Don't fight him like you're fighting these other guys, these bum-ass niggas that we put in the ring for you to pad your record with. No, don't do that, right? And they should always go back to Johan Vasquez. So that fight right there is
Wasn't there another knockdown? I could have sworn. Not against him. He got knocked down twice. I know he got knocked 3 times in his career. I know twice against Johan. He got knocked down against somebody else. I just can't remember.
But the Vasquez fight is the most telling, right?
Yeah.
Because it was twice in the first. I believe it was twice in the first round. And then he ended up knocking the guy out after that. But that's the most telling fight is that one, because he had to get up twice from the canvas off the same punch, the left hook, right? So if I'm his trainers, I think his dad is his trainer. If I'm his pops, I'm like, yo, go back and watch that fight. We can't do that ever again. We definitely can't do that against Sam Noakes. This is your coming out party. It's for the vacant WBO title at 135. This is your coming out party. You become a champion. We can't make those mistakes. We need to fight the way that we know how to fight, and that's box from the outside and turn this guy into a one-dimensional fighter. If they can't get their fighter to do that, he has the dumbest fucking corner, and he's one of the dumbest fighters in boxing. If he can't do that against this guy. That's what I'm saying. The stakes are too high for him to make those mistakes. That's what I'm saying. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's go ahead and go to the next one, man. We're going to move it along to one of the more exciting fighters in the sport. That's going to be Bam Rodriguez, man. He's going to be defending the WBO, WBC 115-pound title against Fernando Martinez, a guy that if you don't watch the lower level or the lower weight class fighters, you may not know who he is. But Fernando Martinez has been on a tear his last 5 fights. Granted, he's fought 3 people in his last 5, right? But he fought 2 people twice. Jerwin and Cajas, who was ruling the roost at 115 pounds for a minute. Like, we're talking like 6-7 years. And then Kazuda Ioka, who was my dude. I like Kazuda Ioka a lot. And he beat those guys twice. Beat him the first time. Then he put a cherry on top in the second fight, both times. Then he fought Jay Borneo, who's also a top contender, was undefeated at the time. So Fernando Martinez is on a tear. But Bam Rodriguez, man, 3 Kings boxing top 5, number 5 fighter in boxing, man. Go ahead and take it, dog. Fernando Martinez, 18-0, 9 knockouts, 34 years of age, 5'2", 64-inch reach, former IBF 115 pounds champion. Of course, Bam Rodriguez, 22-0, 15 knockouts, 25 years of age, 5'4", 67-inch reach, southpaw. Somebody take it, man. What y'all think about this fight?
I love this fight. This is the fight I'm looking for. Now, here's the thing about it. The one thing that you have to look at, because both of these guys are sort of similar. Bam Rodriguez like to fight on the inside, and so does Fernando Martinez, right? Bam Rodriguez is a prolific body puncher and a counter puncher. Well, so is Fernando Martinez. But here's the difference to me: ring IQ. Bam has shown me better ring IQ against higher level opponents in his fight than I have seen in Fernando Martinez. Fernando Martinez sometimes can get carried away and repeat the same punch, but you don't want to do that against Bam Rodriguez. And then here's the one thing about Bam Rodriguez that he shocked everybody when he fought Sonny Edwards was he showed how good of a boxer he was. Nobody expected him to be able to do that. So Bam Rodriguez, to me, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think that Martinez is going to have his moments only because Bam can be lured into a shootout. That's when he did it with Estrada, and Estrada wound up dropping him because of that. So Bam can be lured into a shootout, but that ring IQ, I think, to me, is going to be the biggest difference in that fight. I see Bam Rodriguez winning that fight in decision. I think Martinez is going to have his moments. He's going to give him some trouble. But in the end, I think the adjustments and Bam overall ability is what's going to shine. I got Bam Rodriguez winning this fight. I say about 116, 110.
Yeah, I like that. All right, who next?
Okay, me. I have the fight closer. I have Ben Rodriguez winning based off his ring IQ, but Bo brought up something important. He can get lured into a fight. And Martinez can motherfucking lure people into a motherfucking fight. And I think he might even score a knockdown here. But I think overall, Ben Rodriguez pivots, his ability to switch angles and give angles and counter and body punches, because we also see Martinez slow down at the end of fights. We saw it in his last fight against Ioka, he slowed down. He started to slow down towards the end of the fight. And when you add in Bear Rodriguez's body punches, I think that's going to slow him down. He's going to take over in the end. I think ultimately we're going to get a 115, 112, 114, 113 score for Bear Rodriguez, a hard-fought victory.
Okay. All right. I like that too. Who next?
I'll go up.
All right. Go ahead.
I see a lot of the same things. The only thing I haven't heard anybody talk about, and this is what I think will be the difference in the fight, and it might be even the crack for a dominant Bam win, even though I agree with everybody else as far as it being close. Footwork. I think Bam's lateral movement, particularly if he gets his rhythm in early, he might do better than we're expecting. I think they are closely matched. But I think like how everybody else is saying, it's ring IQ is the big thing, but I also think footwork will be the other big advantage. And it might be the gap that might make the fight further apart, not necessarily closer. But I'm still 115, 113-ish, 116, 112 range as far as how I see it being scored.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that footwork point. That was one of my points too, man. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, man, I agree with everybody. What everybody is saying. I think the difference is going to be definitely the footwork, and I also think that it's going to be the angles. Like Bam creates some great fucking angles, and and his ring IQ and how he obtains those angles just by literally studying his opponent and the tendencies as the fight goes on. Like his fight with Chocolatito was, you could tell, like, because Chocolatito, he literally creates very good angles, and he keeps coming at you. And I think that experience and how he dealt with that is definitely going to show in this fight. I do think it may be close. I'll say probably around the 5th round. I think by the 6th round, I think we will start to see that separation. I think Bam's IQ is going to take over, and combine that with his footwork and his body punching ability. I just think he's just going to wear him down. I don't think he'll knock him out, but I do have it like 116, 112.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, I'm kind of on another island. I agree with everything you guys are saying, and I actually agree with the pick. But my results are a little bit different. So on paper, you look at these two guys and you say they fight similar, as Bo mentioned, right? The one big thing that Corey already talked about was the footwork. Another big thing to me is that, yes, Bam likes to fight on the inside. He likes to back up a little bit, fight at mid-range distance. But the thing is, he has more tools in his toolbox. He's more of a versatile fighter, a way more versatile fighter than Fernando Martinez. But here's another crazy caveat to this. Fernando Martinez, you would think that he's just a brawler if you watch him fight. But then when you watch him fight Jerwin and Kajas and Kazuda Ioka, he actually fought off the back foot. He boxed off the back foot, right? And was actually using the ring in those two fights. So to me, I look at that and I think, okay, is he a guy that recognizes his opponent and makes adjustments based off of that, right? And fights a certain way based on the opponent that's in front of him, which make him an extremely smart fighter and makes this fight even closer? Or was that just a fluke in those two fights? Because if you watch him, Kazuda Ioka was timid. I don't know why, but he was. Jerwin and Kajas, he was never the same fighter since he had that draw with Alejandro Santiago, right? I think that was like in 2018 or so. He wasn't the same fighter since then. I feel like he was at a better point in his career than Kazuda Ioka was at that time, because Kazuda Ioka, this motherfucker was a bad motherfucker at the lower weight divisions. I think at 108, then got married, got him some ass and shit, retired, came back. After he lost the ass, he became a brother over there in Japan and shit, had braids and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Some Jeremy Lin shit.
Yeah, dog. Like Kazuda Ioka, this motherfucker is going everywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, exactly. Heisenberg, he fought without the cornrows. He should have had the cornrows in when he fought Fernando, bro. Exactly. So he's up and down in his career. I remember he comes back and has a draw with Donnie Nietes and doesn't look good against the other Filipino guy. I can't think of his name right now, but doesn't look good against him. I mean, he's up and down. So you can't really trust Kazuda from fight to fight. So to me, it's like, what is Fernando Martinez going to do against Bam? If he fights Bam the way that he fought Kazuda and Kaz, this is a closer fight. But to me, I'm used to Fernando fighting a brawler type of style. And I think he will get lured, into a brawler type of style because he's not going to be timid. And Bam's not going to be timid in the ring against him, right? In doing so, though, guess what? He lures him into that brawler type of style, but then Bam backs up, starts boxing him. Bam has the fundamentals down, guys. He does almost everything right. Almost everything right. Boxes off the jab, closes the distance behind the jab, uses angles on the inside to confuse his opponents, right? Keeps a high guard when he's within range. I like him to sharpen up on his head movement a little bit more, right? But he does almost everything right from a boxing fundamental standpoint. Fernando Martinez, to me, seems when he becomes a brawler, he's just in there winging it. If you watch him brawling, he's getting hit by these guys that he's fighting, right? He's getting hit by Ioka and Kajas, and they were timid. So I honestly think this is not that close of a fight. You also got to look at how dominant Bam is right now. He beat everyone that was a somebody in the last decade at 115, in and around 115, right? Carlos Cuadras, Sarisiket Sor Rungvisai, right? What's the fucking guy's name? Yeah, thank you. Juan Francisco Estrada, right? Even retired Sonny Edwards' ass, right? He's whooping everybody's ass. He's on a tear. He's at a high. He's in his prime. And him being in his prime, he's dominant. And on top of that, he's 9 years younger than his opponent. I got Bam Rodriguez, bro. 9th round knockout. I think he stops him. As tough as Fernando Martinez is, I think this is just going to be another stoppage under Bam Rodriguez's belt. The experience is way too much. The versatility is way too much. The hunger, the dominance, the level at where he is in his career versus where Martinez is in his career. It's just light years that big of a difference, man. So I got Bam by knockout. Now, that goes without saying. This is going to be a firefight for as long as it lasts. I expect this to be a firefight. I expect a lot of punches to being thrown. I expect a lot of punches being landed. But I just think at the end of the day, Martinez is going to wither, man. Y'all got anything on that one? Anything else?
I got one thing I want to say. You said he beat Charlie Edwards. No, that nigga knocked the swag out of Charlie Edwards. Charlie Edwards was acting like a brother until that nigga beat his ass, and I'm pretty he went back to being British after that fight.
He unfollowed every black girl on Instagram after that shit.
Hey, he lost his date with Clarissa after that shit, bro.
He was too little. He was too little anyway.
Hey, that little motherfucker was gonna try to get that shit, dog.
He did hit her up on Twitter, like loud and proud.
He did. And she said, if he wins his next fight, she'll go on a date with him. And that was his next fight was Bam.
And he quit.
That's why she said that shit. She set him up for failure.
Probably.
And he quit.
Man, yeah, but yeah, man, I don't think anybody beats Bam right now, guys. Hold on. Let me fucking finish, nigga. Damn.
Oh, I was about to say.
The only one that beats Bam, in my opinion, that's around his division, I wish they would have fought, was Junto Nakatani. That's the only one I could see.
You know why they haven't fought 2K? You know why? But I guess that's for another show. You know why they haven't fought. Yeah,
of course. But that one there, that's the guy that I think would have beaten Bam Rodriguez. People are talking about Naoya Inoue. I mean, I don't think Bam goes up that high in weight. I don't see him going all the way up to 122. Hell, he was at 118 and moved down to 115. Right?
Unless the coast is clear.
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, I just don't see him going up. that high.
That's what's Bam been.
At best, I
Bam
could
going up to
picture is Bam going to
118.
118. I couldn't picture him getting any bigger because he's so short and he has kind of very average reach for that height as it is.
Right.
And he's not really a big frame dude anyway.
No, he's not. No, he's not. I mean, he started his career at minimum weight. You know what I'm saying? He did fight at 126 one time. And then, you know, after that, he went down to light flyweight, which is 108. And then was chilling around in flyweight and super flyweight, then went up to 118, then back down to super flyweight. So anything in the 120s from based on his track record seems to be too big. So I don't see him going up there and fighting a monster like Naoya Inoue at 122. It would have been Junto Nakatani at 118, but Bam moved back down to 115. So
Nah. Bam never was on 118. Remember, he moved down to 112 and then came back to 115.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah. He was waiting. He wasn't planning on going to 118 until Nakatani left.
That's right. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, that was a plan for him to go up to 118. Yeah, because I was thinking the Pedro Guevara fight was at 118, but it wasn't. It was at 115. That was after he beat Juan Francisco Estrada. You're right about that. So
yeah, 118 I think is the biggest he ever could get to.
It was Junto. My bad. It was Junto that moved up, right? I wanted Junto to go to 115 and fight Bam for that. I think at the time, Bam. I don't think he hadn't fought Juan Francisco Estrada yet. I don't think. I don't even think he fought Sonny Edwards yet.
But he beat Quadros.
Yeah, I think he had the WBC title only at that weight at that time. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Junto WBO?
Yeah, and then that nigga went down to 112, nigga.
Yeah,
After that, I started looking at that nigga weird ever since that day.
That shit pissed me the fuck off, man. Yeah. But then Junto was like, fuck it, I'm gonna move to 118, and then you know the rest is history.
Because
go ahead, Corey.
Based on like what we've been saying, would we say from what we've seen so far, Bam is probably a generational talent?
Yeah, I mean, Bam is
accolades. Yeah, I think so.
Bam is a great fighter at the lower weight divisions that brings excitement, right? I don't think we saw anybody bring that kind of excitement since Roman Gonzalez. Hell, even Juan Francisco Estrada wasn't bringing that kind of excitement, bro. He needed Roman Gonzalez to do so.
I was going to go way back in the crates. I was going to say, like, he's like the most watched that I've seen in the smaller weights since Carbajal. Like, somebody that, like, you put him on a card, you automatically know, like, people are going to sit down early for it.
I think Roman Gonzalez was being watched a lot, especially when he signed with Golden Boy. Because I remember the people that were watching him fight Sariske Sor Rungvisai and Carlos Cuadras, man. He had a huge turnout in person and people watching on TV. So
yeah. Plus HBO gave him a big backing. They paired him and Triple G up together. So yeah, I can see that.
As soon as Floyd left, remember they put that boy at #1 pound for pound.
They did. Yep. Immediately.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the hate game. They was out there like
immediately. Yep. All right, man. We're gonna move on to the next one, man. Now this next one is I think this is the most intriguing fight on the card. My contemporaries may disagree with me, but I think this is the most intriguing. You got Brian Norman Jr., 28-0, 22 knockouts, 24 years of age, 5'8", 72-inch reach, WBO 147-pound champion currently. And then Devin Haney, obviously, doesn't really need much of an introduction. The former WBC, the former 135-pound undisputed champion, right? Age 27, 5'9", 71-inch reach. This is the most intriguing, guys. Go ahead and take it. Whoever won it, take it.
All right.
Damn, nobody want to take it?
Since I ain't like, I'm about to take it right now, brother. All right. So basically, I've been back and forth on this because I don't think that Devin Haney has fully gotten over the Ryan Garcia debacle. And that's going to be, and I think this fight out of all fights that he's fought right now is literally one of the biggest because We can forgive him for this last fight. You know what I mean? But this fight right here, he needs to show for his brand, literally, that he's gotten over what happened against Ryan Garcia. On paper, if we're talking about regular, you know what I'm saying, Devin Haney that just comes out there and just boxes, then I see this fight just being a complete wash, much like the Regis fight. I don't think he knocks him down as many times as he did Regis, but I think that he outboxes him fairly easy. I think just the footwork, his jab, and just the angles that he's able to create will be too much. I think also, but if he gets caught like he did, which I don't think he will, I hope not, because I'm pulling for Haney to pull himself out of it. But at the same time, like if he gets caught early, I want to see if he adjusts or does he fold. That's going to be the biggest telltale of this boxing match, in my opinion, is if he does get hit hard, does he start running around the ring and not engaging as much as he typically would? So at the end of the day, I think I'm gonna lean more towards Haney, just because of his skill set, his IQ. I'm still, like I said, leery about his whole mental capacity, but if he's there mentally, I see this fight being more like a 116, 112, but I'm gonna go 115, 113.
I mean, that's definitely the big fat ass elephant in the room, right? Is whether or not he's not scared to get hit after getting caught left hook after left hook against a bum ass dude like Ryan Garcia, whom Brian Norman is way better than, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big elephant in the room, definitely. Who got it next?
All right, so I gotta say, although you mentioned Haney IQ, I question the fuck out of that because of Ryan Garcia. I question that nigga's IQ because of Ryan.
I think so. In that fight, I really believe that he mentally he just was not there. He was so caught up in the whole like media and what the media was saying and trying to prove a point that he's not pillow hands instead of just boxing. Because when he just boxed in that fight, he was beating Ryan's ass. You know what I mean? He was just Stevie Wonder to the fucking left hook. You know what I mean? I just think that he went in there trying to be something he wasn't. And that's why he got his ass knocked down so many times.
I got one name for you, Bill Haney. I'm sorry, it just needs to be said. That dude is horrible. Like as far as like what he says in the corner and how he directs them.
It ain't as bad as Angel. Bend your knees.
just because he ain't the worst, don't make him good.
That's true.
I agree.
Man, y'all haven't been following Brian Norman Sr. if we talk about horrible corner, man, but whatever. Keep going, guys.
Well, all these father trainers are really bad right now. They're really.
He particularly sucks, nigga.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bo.
Him and Flores Schofield there be pissing me off. But anyway,
I take that back. I take that back. He's the worst. He's the worst. My bad.
Anyway, he got to go back to being the Devin Haney we saw that, like you said, Regis program. He got to go back to being the Devin Haney that was in it with Vasily Lomachenko, George Kambosos.
George Cambooty. That's what we need to be.
Like George Cambooty. You know what I'm saying? Jorge Linares. He got to go back to being that Dev that was able to sit in the pocket, move like you said, give them angles, and feed off that jab. Now, here's the thing. Although him and Brian Norman got the same reach, Dev is a better jabber because Brian Norman does not jab. Like, I go back to that Santillan fight, and I told this to 2K earlier. People put too much stock in that Santillan victory. Santillan wasn't really all that good, man. What he beat Alexis Rocha? Okay, Rashidi Ellis did that already. So we already knew that. They put too much in that victory. And then, even when he beat Sasaki, Brian Norman requires you to come at him and be on his body. He requires you to engage him because he's looking to land them hooks and them uppercuts. Well, all Dev's got to do, like you just said, all he got to do is box. Because Brian Norman ain't gonna jab. Brian Norman's not a jabber. If he throws the jab, he's not throwing the jab with the same intent of to hit you to set something else up. He's more or less doing it as a range finder to see, okay, what else can I throw? Devin Haney can fight behind that jab, but he's got to do that. Devin Haney mentality. He has to forget about that Ryan Garcia fight. The mental makeup of Devin Haney right now is what's in question to me. This, if Devin Haney never had that Ryan Garcia blunder, this would be an easy call. But it's not an easy call because he had that Ryan Garcia blunder. Because if he gets hit, like we just said, by Brian Norman, and Brian Norman can punch, I'm curious to see what Devin Haney's going to do once he gets hit. Is he going to fold? Is he going to go forward? I think Devin Haney is going to pull it out, but I can definitely see a situation where Devin Haney finds himself in some serious trouble because, like I said, his mental makeup and his ring IQ is just a huge question for me.
Well, I agree with about 95% of what you said. Brian Norman does jab. He actually does jab. It's not a good jab or anything like that. But there's one thing I will give him credit for. He does jab before he jumps in and starts unleashing a barrage of punches. So I got to give him that. Now, the jab shouldn't do anything to Devin Haney at all. You know what I'm saying? So you could say his jab would be so obsolete given how, the reflexes of Devin Haney that we're used to, minus the Ryan Garcia fight. His reflexes so good, his jab will be obsolete, won't do anything. But he does jab while coming in. You got a next score? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take it. So this fight, we've all been covering, like, what is Devin Haney going to be like? And I think this is one of those, we'll get a question answered about how you manage a fighter. I'm a hardcore believer that if you take an L, particularly if you kind of get beaten up, take only the rest you need to heal and get back in the ring. Because now you're at a crossroads where you're fighting a puncher. Now, from a boxing standpoint, I think Devin is superior to Brian Norman. Like, I would almost say, like when I look at Brian Norman, he reminds me of Cornelius Bunders, just with way more power, but he's kind of...
Nah, bro. Hell nah, nigga. This nigga said he reminded him of K9, bro. That is a fucked up compliment. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That's bad, bro. Go ahead.
But the thing about Cat, like, he fights hella rough, but he don't really be in there. He has lots of stretches where he's not in there boxing. That's what I'm getting at.
Shit. K9 was the most wild. That nigga was horrible, bro. I don't even know.
That dude was running around with that IBF title.
He
for
was,
like 3
wasn't
years.
he? But that was a bum ass time in that division. Yeah, Carlos Molina and him. Didn't he beat fucking Corey Spinks for that title or somebody?
Yeah, yes, he did.
He beat the shit out of him twice.
Yeah, Secure Powell, nigga. Man, get the fuck. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, but to my point, like, from a boxing standpoint, Devin is superior, but he needed to get cracked upside the head before going into this fight, because now, if you face adversity, you're fighting a guy that will finish you. With that being said, I'm always going to pick IQ and ability over kind of like what could go wrong. Shit could really go wrong. I wouldn't go running to the casino to bet on this, just simply because I don't like the fact that Haney's only took one fight since that fight. It's been a little over 2 years now, and you only took one fight. Like, I really have a big problem with that. So I think he should be able to keep himself out of danger, but at the same time, I really don't like the idea if he gets cracked. I don't even think he knows how he'd react. So, so with that being said, I comfortably would say it would be like 117, 111 to 115, 113 type range for the fight, just because I don't think he'll be able to just hold him at bay the whole time. And I also don't think he'll fight aggressively enough to run away with the rounds like he would if we were talking about how he was fighting before he ran into Garcia.
Yeah, I mean, it at the end of the day, you make a good point about him only having that one fight after Ryan Garcia, because he fought like a scared bitch in there with Jose Ramirez, who at that point in time was already washed. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was checking for fucking Jose Ramirez at that time. Ever since Jose Ramirez lost to Josh Taylor, nobody ever was like, oh, that's it for that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he wasn't anybody that people were looking at as, oh man, this is a dangerous fighter. It was really a, hey, this is a name that you're getting in the ring with after Ryan Garcia to get yourself back up to, you know, to the status that you were before in terms of, you know, the confidence level, the comfortability level, all of that. This was what Jose Ramirez is supposed to do. And it backfired. It did absolutely the opposite, right? So that's why we are where we are today. Like, fuck, the big elephant is still in the room. Go ahead, Zoe.
This is what I see. Brian Norman, I disagree with what Bo says. Brian Norman does have a decent jab. He does jab. He does try to jab his way in. He's good at feinting people. He's good at feinting people out of, you know, position when he's hand fighting to set up his power shots. And he's decent at countering jabs, especially if he's throwing a single jab. He's good at catching you with counter hooks. He's also physically strong as fuck because, you know, he's country as shit. So he's strong as fuck. So he does have a decent inside game, which will work for him against Haney because Haney's fucking control game is what's ass. We seen it against Ryan Garcia was able to break out of all his clinches, dog, and punish him. We saw in the later rounds against Lomachenko. Lomachenko was able to do
Devin
that.
Haney wears purses and skirts and shit, bro. What the fuck you expect? Pants, nigga. Yeah, you're not strong, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, so Brian Norman,
back to the people that dye their hair, you know, I'm not expecting
right.
that.
Yeah, so Brian Norman, he has that going for him. But on the flip side, this nigga gets jabbed consistently against niggas that we will never ever see on TV ever again. This nigga consistently gets caught against the most pathetic of fighters. He smothers his own work every time. Every time he jumps in, he consistently smothers his own work so he can't get work done. If somebody's not directly in his face, he struggles. I have a fight for you guys. He fought a guy, I think his name was like Philip Castro, some shit like that.
Yeah.
The nigga fights. He's basically a Family Dollar version of motherfucking Devin Haney. Go watch that fight just to see what the fuck we dealing with.
And if
This
I'm not
nigga's not
mistaken,
good.
at the time he fought that dude had like 5 or 6 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it niggas suck. But what I'm saying is Brian Norman, he's gonna get like I said, he's going up against somebody who has one of the best jabs in the business, and his weakness is he gets jabbed against people who will never be in a televised fight ever again. So it's very simple. He won't be able to get his offense started. When he does able to try to close distance, he's gonna smother his work like he always do. This is gonna be worse than the Regis fight because he's nowhere near as good as Regis. Expect a 120, 108, and he might score a knockdown, catching that goofy ass nigga jumping off his feet, and he might catch him with a count and get a flash knockdown. It might happen once or twice. So yeah, I might take 102. I mean 120, 107 scorecard.
Damn.
Like I'm making this shit too hard. I'm making this shit too hard. This nigga sucks.
Wait. Devin Haney's gonna get a knockdown. You said 120, 107.
A flash knockdown, yeah, a flash knockdown, catching this goofy nigga off his feet because this nigga always jumping and lunging and he's gonna get caught with some shit. He's not gonna get hurt. It's gonna be one of those flash knockdowns.
So Devin Haney is going to be fully mentally prepared for this fight, is what you're saying.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, listen, I believe Devin Haney went to the Ramirez fight with only one thing in his mind: secure the Ryan Garcia rematch, and that's the only thing he went in there looking to do. This fight, he's looking to take a title. That's what he's looking to do this fight, and he's gonna he's gonna jab the shit out of this motherfucker. Brian Norman is never gonna be able to initiate any offense because as soon as he put that foot down, you're gonna get jabbed and have to restart, and that's rinse repeat. This nigga's not good, bro. Let's not make this shit hard, bro.
All right.
So not so much even the good part. I got a question for you. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you good. Go ahead.
You don't think, like, because he does like to randomly jump in and throw hooks, you don't think that he's going to, like, knock Devin off balance or whatever, or, like, randomly get even, like, a miscellaneous punch in? You really think he's going to be controlled for 12 rounds?
Fully controlled for 12 rounds, man. Fully controlled. You know what? Sometimes when we watch a fight, like what happens in the first round sometimes can have a huge effect on the entire fight. Like you saw, like the Tevin Farmer versus Schofield, because the fight ended in the because he scored the knockout so early, we have no way of knowing what would have happened, or because he scored the knockdown so early that could have affected the entire fight. But it doesn't mean he was actually good. That punch just had a lasting effect. We seen the same shit happen when AJ fought Ruiz, and I think that's what happened when Devin Haney fought Ryan Garcia. That first punch just took him out the fight. That first punch took him out the fight. But I don't think that's a. I think they fought 9 times out of 10. It's a 120-108 victory for Devin Haney against Ryan Garcia. He just happened to caught him with a punch early that he didn't recover from. I don't think that happens consistently for him. I don't think that's something that consistently happens. I know what does consistently happen in all the fucking Brian Norman's fight. He gets jabbed against anybody. I could land a jab, and I'm not even in Saudi right now. I just threw a jab. I landed it.
You threw that motherfucker from where you at, and it still landed.
Flush.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, because, you know, deep down inside, I want to say Devin Haney is fully recovered. You know, Jorge Linares rocking him, Ryan Garcia rocking him, Lomachenko getting to him. None of that mattered, is what I want to say. How he actually fought Lomachenko ultimately for the majority of that fight. A lot of people think he lost, or some people think he lost that fight. I don't know what the fuck they were looking at, but you know, how he fought George Camboody. You know, those guys, he's got to get back to that. And I want to think, yeah, he's back to that. He took this Brian Norman fight. He's back to that shit, right? But Devin Haney, in my opinion, has never been a guy to duck smoke, right? I don't think he necessarily ducked Shakur Stevenson. I just don't think that fight was at the right time. I think he was advised not to take that fight at that particular time. But Brian Norman, to me, is a dangerous fight for Devin Haney if he's not mentally ready, if he has not recovered from Ryan Garcia. You probably can't tell Devin Haney, hey, bro, we don't think that you've recovered from Ryan Garcia because of the way you looked against Jose Ramirez. You can't tell him that. His dad can't tell him that. His girl can't tell him that. The niggas that been in his entourage his whole motherfucking career can't tell him that, right? So, of course, he's going to come into this thinking, oh, yeah, I'm fully recovered. Nigga, what? Nigga, it's just Brian Norman. I'm going to beat this nigga ass, with the same mentality that Zoe has for, you know, and the same expectations anyway that Zoe has in terms of him winning this fight. But I can't get around it. Zoe mentioned he got hit by one left hook and never recovered. I saw a nigga get hit by many left hooks. It didn't have anything to do with him not recovering from the first one. It had everything to do with this motherfucker.
He got hit with the other ones because he wasn't recovered from the first one.
Nope. Bullshit.
Nah, he was down. No.
We're not doing that. Nope.
That's incorrect.
This nigga kept getting hit because he didn't know how to defend against it. This nigga even said pre-fight, Zoe, that all he had was a left hook. Remember, my nigga, I told you niggas my son said that shit. This nigga ain't no boxing expert, nigga. He's at the time, a 12-year-old, I think they fought 2 years ago, 11-year-old boy, nigga. This nigga ain't no boxing expert, but this nigga still said, oh, yeah, that nigga Ryan Garcia, yeah, I wouldn't pick him to win that fight because all he got is a left hook, Dad. That's exactly what he said. Everybody named motherfucking mama knew this nigga only had a left hook. And what did Devin Haney do? Run into the left hook. That shit ain't got nothing to do with this nigga getting hurt and damn, he hit me with it. Oh, my God, I can't recover. No. He should have never got hit with it in the first fucking place. Like Rolly Ramirez. How does Rolly Ramirez go in there and obliterate this nigga the way he does, right? Gets around the left hook. But Devin Haney just can't do it. Can't get right? Nah, bruh. That's what I'm worried about when he goes in the ring with a guy like Brian Norman, who actually, guys, Corey compared him to K9. You can compare him to another fight on the fucking card. Brian Norman's a slightly better version of Sam Noakes. Look at how they fight. They fight almost the same fucking way. While I'm watching Sam Noakes, I'm like, this looks like a white version of Brian fucking Norman. A white British version of Brian Norman. It's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? So them two niggas, they fight similar. I'd say Brian Norman's a little bit better than Sam Noakes because he actually uses his jab better than Sam Noakes does. He's not as
Sam
robotic.
Noakes, believe it or not, got better defense than this motherfucker. Look, I threw another
Nah,
jab, hit him again.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Sam Noakes is too robotic. Don't move his head. None of that. All he does is change. He just changes levels.
And he creates a lot of punch traffic that stop punches from coming in or when he's going in.
Nope, we ain't doing that shit. You already gave your Sam Noakes take. That shit was disagreed with. Hell no. Sam Noakes is not that nigga. No, he's not. He's British. He gonna get his ass whooped by Abdullah Mason. not that dude, bro. Not at all. So he's literally him and Sam Noakes are the same motherfucking fighter, bro. Same fucking fighter, bro. Right? Brian Norman uses his jab better. He has more power than Sam Noakes. He's not as robotic, has faster hands, and he's more accurate than Sam Noakes. I'm watching Sam Noakes throw punches. He's missing the nigga altogether. Not saying that Brian Norman didn't do that, but he's more accurate than Sam Noakes is. But they're literally bred from the same fucking cloth, right? They're cut from the same cloth, basically. So with that being said, and Devin Haney over there getting hit by the same left hook over and over again. Guys, what is Brian Norman's best punch? Somebody tell me, please. Anybody.
Left.
What is it?
Left hook.
Left hook. The left hook. That's his best punch. So if I'm saying Ryan Garcia, who to me is a certified bum, an overrated one, right? How the fuck are we supposed to believe that Devin Haney doesn't get hit by the left hook from this guy who's hungry as fuck? He's the WBO champion. He's in tip-top shape. He doesn't have any out-of-the-ring distractions. Ryan Garcia had all kinds of fucking distractions. Hell, that nigga was showing all kinds of mental instability leading up to the fight. Nigga, we thought Ryan Garcia was going to have another mental breakdown before he fought Devin Haney, before they actually got in the ring. And he still managed to land the left hook with ease. I don't know, guys. Like, listen. Brian Norman again. I'll say it again. Hungry, WBO champion, doesn't want to lose his belt anytime soon, right? Feels that he could beat Devin Haney better than anybody could, right? He is flat-footed. He can't fight off the back foot. He's front foot heavy, right? Susceptible to great jabbers like Devin Haney and counterpunchers like Devin Haney can be, right? Devin Haney has all the tools in his toolbox to beat the dust off this dude. All the tools, bro. But he's got to be mentally ready to get hit and be able to handle it. That is still an unknown. We don't know. With 28 wins and 22 knockouts and him knocking niggas out the way he has been, Devin Haney has to fight from the outside the whole fight. He can do it. He has done it his entire career. But he absolutely can't get clipped and say, oh my God, and start running or moving. Let me say that. He can't do that. He can't do what he did against Jose Ramirez. I still got Devin Haney winning. But I only have him winning by split decision. Here's why. I see Devin getting knocked down, B. Or if he's not getting knocked down, I see him getting clipped. And when he gets clipped in that round, I see this nigga trying to survive. One thing I will say about Devin Haney, he gets hurt or stunned or knocked down. He does get back up and he does continue, right? So I don't see him getting knocked out. But I do see him getting clipped and hurt and losing rounds because of it. I see him being too cautious after getting hit and losing rounds because of it. But I also believe him being cautious will get him 7 rounds to 5, right? In my opinion, because him being cautious is going to take him back to fighting from the outside. And him being successful at doing that in more rounds where he's not successful. Because one thing that Zoe did say was, he said it was correct. I think you said this, Zoe, that Brian Norman doesn't have the IQ. That I do believe. And he's never fought a boxer in his professional career like Devin Haney. So
the closest one he fought was a bum named Philip Castle, and he looked like complete motherfucking shit. This nigga was a D-level boxer who was masquerading as a slick fighter, and he made Brian Norman look like shit. That's all you need to watch to know this fight is not competitive. This
Well,
is, I almost want to call this a cherry pick.
I have a question for the like Zoe. Zoe already touched on it, so I know where he's gonna go with it. My question is because Brian Norman, particularly in early rounds, he gonna be on some hyper aggressive.
that's
Like,
what I'm saying.
how do
Hmm.
y'all think Devin deals with it? Because
That's the big
I really
question.
wish he had a couple more fights in there. But like, how does he really? Because he's not always going to control the range every second of every round, particularly at the very beginning. Brian Norman is going to be in that dude's chest right out the gate.
Yes, he
What do
is.
we? What do we think Devin's? How's he gonna deal with it? Because he gonna see them demons that he got to avoid with Ramirez. He's gonna see him in this fight, regardless
Man,
of
that
how it
engine's
plays
not
out.
gonna start, bro. That engine's not gonna fucking start. That engine's never gonna fucking leave the train, bro. It's gonna get a jab that stops it on the track every fucking time. And you're gonna have to reset, man. He's not gonna
So
look up, bro. He's not gonna look competitive in this fucking fight. We're gonna come away. We're gonna come here on Sunday, on Monday, overrating the fuck out of Devin Haney, calling him the next Floyd brother. That's how he's gonna look. We're gonna overrate the fuck out of Devin Haney because Brian Norman sucked. Let's just get this shit out the way. This nigga fucking everything bad Sean Porter does, that's his entire style.
well, here's the deal. So I think
K9's better than him.
I think no, stop that. That's
K9 one of
crazy.
the contenders, nigga. What
Stop
the
Cut
that.
that
fuck?
out.
Stop
Well,
that shit. I think I think what a lot of people forget is the moment in time, right? This is what you failed to understand, though, when it came to Canelo and Terrence Crawford, right? I think that people forget that when certain stakes are high, they show up. I understand what you're saying about Brian Norman and against these guys and these bums. It's just the same. It's the same playbook you used in picking Sam Noakes over Abdullah Mason, right? Because Abdullah Mason looked bad against these bum ass niggas. But I'm going to use my same playbook and tell you the stakes are high. These guys are not going to be in there trying to make the same mistakes. With Brian Norman's case, he sees a deer in headlights opportunity. This nigga is hungry as fuck, and he's already the champion. Abdullah is hungry because it's a vacant title. He can become champion. Brian is trying to keep his title and put his name, he wants to put his name on a pound for pound list. He won't get there if he beats Devin. I'm just saying he would in his eyes. Hey, this is a big name that I got on my resume. He's undefeated with an asterisk next to that zero, right? Obviously, but he's undefeated. And this is my time to shine. This nigga's fucking hungry, bro. One thing you don't do is underestimate a hungry motherfucker. You never underestimate that guy. Buster Douglas. Right? Never underestimate a hungry dude, bro. So that's all I'm saying. It's a close. I think it's a closer fight because of the stakes are so high and because of the hunger, the food that's on the plate, right? The starvation, right? That Brian Norman has and wanting to show people he is the best fighter in his division, not only in his division but in the sport. That's a dangerous man, bro. Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, the thing I'm gonna say is also to piggyback on what you're saying. Not only does he see as an opportunity, have you seen how composed he is? Like that dude is really
Mm-hmm.
looking at this like he does like the thing is he sees no risk in it. He only sees reward.
And that could be a
So
detriment. That could be a
it
detriment.
could go either way. Is where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Devin, and I'm pretty sure they've talked about this like a lot in his camp. He has to put some doubt in that dude very early. Like if Norman gets like, let's say Norman's losing rounds, but if he's just like, man, that hook is there. Like you got like you're gonna have that dude at virtual on at all times. Devin actually, this is a fight where Devin is going to actually have to put this dude in his place, and if he has any of that deer in headlights going on his side of it, it can get bad for him because he may not have that wherewithal to like, well, I gotta hit this dude in the mouth so he knows like you can't just run up in here on me all day.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I understand 100% where Zoe's coming from, but we would have to 100% disregard this nigga looking like shit in his last two fights, and the last fight being a situation where he was supposed to return to form and 100% failed at that. We have to 100% ignore that. I can't do that shit. Not
I
in
really
this.
think he was trying to secure. I think he went to that Ramirez fight with one plan to secure the Ryan Garcia fight. That's all he
Yeah.
cared about. Don't get cut. Don't get nothing. Just go there and secure the fight.
So this fight, why would this fight be any different then? Because he can't lose to Brian Norman.
No, he can't lose. But I think this fight is for a title, and because Brian Norman's so hot, it's gonna basically. I'm gonna say this shit about Devin Haney. Don't think I'm hating on the nigga.
Yeah.
Bill Haney knows how to pick them, dog. I know the Ryan Garcia shit backfired, but if they pick a fight, then nigga, there's a reason the Shakur fight didn't happen. Them niggas know what they doing, bro. They pick this nigga for a reason. They pick all their fights for a reason, dog. They don't fight people they think they're gonna lose to, bro. Trust me.
Well, let's not ignore the elephant in the room, Shakur not taking the contract that was given to him either. Whether he wanted more money or whatever the case was, he didn't accept what was offered to him. So let's not ignore that.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
That
I
fight
hear you.
almost
But
happened. It wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stay out of that one. I don't think Bill Haney is cherry picking his opponents. I disagree with that.
no, I think he's a very, very good because you know how just like how Bud said he didn't think he could beat Canelo until this motherfucker be like, yo, I think he's good at seeing those type of things, just like Freddie Roach was. Freddie Roach was excellent. That was part of the reason that made Manny Pacquiao look fucking. I think that played more of a role than fucking the steroids did. Fucking Freddie Roach knew when to fight people, where to fight them, what catch weight, when, you feel me? He knew that shit. He know how to see that shit coming, dog.
Freddie Roach been around boxing his whole life. I mean, he was a boxer. That's why the nigga got Parkinson's. Bill Haney has not been. He doesn't have that kind of experience that a Freddie Roach would have to say, all right, I see what I see. You know, don't fight this guy or fight that guy. I really truly believe that Haney's don't give a fuck. Really, they'll fight anybody.
Freddie Roach was picking fights better than Brad Weiss and Brad Goodman and what's the other matchmaker that's in the Hall of Fame for Top Rank? He was picking the fights better than him.
Yeah.
God, what's that? Bruce Trampler. He was picking fights better than them.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't give Devin Haney that kind of. That's like saying like what
you're calling that dude Lex Luthor, dude. When you say that,
that's like Bob Arum, right? Like Bob Arum is good at that shit too. Like if y'all remember that movie Undisputed with Ving Rhames and Wesley Snipes, the old man and shit in that cell that was saying that Wesley Snipes is gonna beat Ving Rhames. He was supposed to be the Bob Arum character. Been around boxing for so long, he can pick who's going to win based on, you know, the experience that he's had in the ring. I mean, in the sport.
Around the sport.
I don't have Bill Haney as that kind of intellectual in boxing. Not at all. Nowhere near. Nowhere near.
But I saw him and Floyd have that debate, and I'm sorry, I didn't get that level of mastermind out of that.
I truly believe that they will fight anybody. Like they would have fought you know, Gary Russell Jr. if that fight could have happened or if they could have came to terms. I don't think they give a fuck, man. So yeah, like Regis Prograis, that fight was dangerous, bro. That was a dangerous fight. He'd only lost to Josh Taylor, and that was a debatable loss. Vasyl Lomachenko was a dangerous fight, right? He was trying to fight Teofimo Lopez after Lopez beat Loma. They were really trying to get that fight for Undisputed since he was the WBC champion, the real one anyway, right? I don't think they give a fuck.
So I'm gonna keep it real.
Even after losing to Garcia.
I think one thing we have to say going into this fight that you guys are overlooking, this is Brian Norman's first decent opponent. Like decent. These niggas fucking suck, man.
We're not. The thing is, we see the flaws in Brian Norman. We're not arguing with you about that. What we're questioning is Devin Haney. How's he going to look from the trauma he
Yeah.
experienced?
I hear you, but would you guys have me as the favorite to beat Devin Haney?
You and Brian Norman's way better than you. What the fuck
You
you
know
talking
he's not. No, he's not. No, the fuck he's not, bro. Like you know he's not, bro. Why would you say that? He's not better than me.
about?
Why would you say that shit?
Yeah, I listen. Ask a different question.
It's the same
Ask,
level.
no. Ask me this.
Nah.
Hold on. Ask me this. Do I think that if you landed a lucky shot on Devin Haney and hurt him, would he be scared to fight you? The answer is yes. Ask me that question, nigga. Yes. Yeah, I
But I
believe
have a
that.
better chance of landing that than Brian Norman does.
I'm just saying, if Zoe, the ugliest nigga on the planet, landed a left hook on Devin Haney and buzzed that nigga, I believe Devin Haney would be scared to fight the
But
rest of
if
the
we
fight.
kept it real, dog, if I got in the ring with Haney, just my pure uglyism, dog, he wouldn't even want to engage, dog. He would run around, dog.
Well, hopefully Brian Norman's that fucking ugly to him, so he can do that shit to him. Shit. let's
I'm
move on.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this. Brian Norman is the worst fighter in this card. I think he's even worse than Yarde.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
god, bro!
I'm
Stop.
sorry.
Man.
I'm sorry, man.
If
I don't know what you guys see.
Look,
If Brian
I know
Norman
I
and
was
Sam
talking
Noakes,
crazy when I compared him to Cornelius Bundrich, but now you out of pocket.
if Brian Norman and Sam Noakes
Yeah.
was in the same division and fought each other, I got Brian Norman by knockout, bro.
I'll flip a coin.
Oh my god.
I'll flip a coin, dog. I do not know what y'all see in this guy, dog. Like
Man,
this guy
Oh,
sucks.
shit.
man, you like that President Andrew Jackson. If you get on a hill, you will die on that motherfucker.
That nigga
Right.
sucks, bro. I'm sorry. I don't get it, bro. Like when he won the title, he sucked. When niggas was saying he was gonna be competitive against Boots, I thought he sucked. Like, but I wish you don't know how bad I wish Boots fought him. He's so fucking
He
trash,
beat the
dog.
shit out of
Let me ask you this. Are you saying Brian Norman is the worst champion in the division that had Mario Barrios in it?
Yeah, who
Man,
wins
I'm
that
saying
fight?
that division sucked. I'm
Who
saying
wins
that
that
division.
fight?
Oh,
There's
no,
a
no, 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 no,
no. He's
no.
better than Barrios.
Brian
He's better than
Norman
Barrios.
is
He's better than
the
Barrios.
We switch Haney for Barrios.
He's better
Who are
than
you picking?
Barrios. Norman is better than Barrios. Barrios is a
Okay,
special
that
type of ass.
This.
all right.
But
Yeah,
All right.
Barrios
you
is a
wasn't
type.
letting
So
me, I wasn't
so
letting you get
Zoe.
away with that.
Yeah,
So if Haney loses, right?
he needs to get a
Where does
CDL.
that put where does that put is it almost is Haney done if he loses to
If
Brian Norman?
if Haney wins 117, 111 against Brian
No,
Norman, he
that's
needs
not
to
what I
get his
said.
CDL. Listen,
No,
I'm
no,
answering.
no, no, no.
I'm answering. I'm answering. I'm telling you, if Haney wins 117, 111 against Brian Norman, he needs to get his fucking CDLs because he lost too many rounds.
Just
That answers your question.
so no, it don't. No, I'm saying like so if that's the case, if Devin Haney loses on Saturday, where does that place him in your eyes? Where does that place
Who,
Haney in your
Norman?
eyes?
Well,
No,
Haney,
Haney.
it would depend how he looked. But
If he gets knocked out and starts going, either he gets knocked out or he starts fighting scared and loses.
bum, you're a fucking bum because you lost to a bum.
Hey,
You
look at
lost to
this.
a Rolly Garcia. You lost to a Rolly level nigga twice. You lost to
Look at
Ryan Anderson nigga. You a bum. These both
look at
niggas
the
suck.
screen. Look at the screen. So who wins that fight? Brian Norman or Rowley?
Ooh,
Damn. I'll probably take Norman. Yo, 147 is really garbage when you think about it. Barrios, Rolly, Norman. God damn, I need to go compete.
Oh my god. Let's move to the next one, fellas. Y'all niggas is tripping, bro.
man, this
The
shit went
Three
off the
King promotion,
rails.
man. The Uglies are coming soon for all the titles, nigga. I'm here.
Oh shit. All right, man. And finally for the main event is the tune-up. Yo, hey, listen. He said Brian Norman's the worst fighter on the card. Listen, out of these fights that we just mentioned, right? I think Anthony Yarde is the worst. And
Agreed.
Sando,
huh?
Not second worst. We're going worst for Anthony Yarde.
Yeah,
I think Anthony Yarde is second worst.
Him and Sam Noakes is right there, bro. They right there, bro.
Okay.
Anthony
Yeah.
Yarde is fucking horrible, man. I'm sorry, bro. He is horrible. Like Sam Noakes has some level of fundamentals. Anthony Yarde is just in there punching, bro. Yes, and I'm gonna say why when I get to my breakdown, but he's like a street fighter almost, bro. That just got into boxing and shit. That's what he reminds me of, man.
Well,
And
he
British,
kind of is.
yeah. And British niggas gonna get mad at me, man, but it is what it is, man. You got David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, 30-0, 24 knockouts, 28 years old, 6'2", 74.5-inch reach. He is Three Kings Boxing number 9 on the top 10 list for top boxers in the sport. Then you got Anthony Yarde, 27-3, 24 knockouts, age 34. I didn't know he was that old, guys. This makes it even worse.
Yeah, he ain't getting no better.
Yeah, 6 foot, 72-inch reach, but his reach really doesn't fucking matter because he's gonna deduct it by like 6 fucking inches by the way he fights. What do y'all think about this tune-up? I mean, this matchup, man. What do y'all think about this?
All right, man. So let me go on and get this out because I've been holding this one in. You can't overvaluing Anthony Yarde's performance against Kovalev. That was not Crusher. Andre Ward and later Alvarez destroyed that shit already.
Yes, sir.
The Kovalev that nigga met was Kovalev. He wasn't Crusher Kovalev. He was just fucking Kovalev. Right? So they're overvaluing that performance. But even then, nigga, you lost to a one-handed London Awesome. Then in the trilogy, who barely beat the nigga in the fucking trilogy. Anthony Yarde in his last couple fights has looked terrible. Nigga, you went the distance with some nigga named Valkan. That sound like a fucking. That sound like something that should be from a fucking Dracula werewolf movie. This nigga's last name.
Nigga, did you say Viacom, nigga? The goddamn.
Yeah, Vilkins or something. Like, I don't even know this nigga. You went the distance with nigga and looked terrible in that fight. He looked bad in that fight. He even admitted to himself. Anthony Yarde still has stamina issues. Anthony Yarde has not improved on any of his skills. What skill set have I seen Anthony Yarde improve on? I'm not trying to knock the dude, but exactly. David Benavidez, and then everybody says, oh, the power. David Benavidez is not the kind of fighter where your power is the only thing you have to beat him. You need more than that. I saw David Benavidez, and mind you, David Benavidez that had laxed up his body and was walking to his corner, take a flush shot from David Morrell. Yeah, it hurt, but he didn't go down, recovered, came back, and proceeded to bust his ass. So what does hell do? And what is Anthony Yarde going to do? People like to look at David Benavidez and say, "Oh man, he struggled against Gavazic." Okay, but Gavazic, the only dude to beat Gavazic was Benavidez. It wasn't like it was an old Gavazic. This Gavazic was winning, and he went in there. We saw what he did against Andre.
Yeah,
like,
actually, Benavidez needed the knockout to beat him.
Yeah, he fought better fucking fighters than Anthony Yarde because the Kovalev he fought wasn't that Kovalev. David Benavidez, Anthony Yarde has still always been a one-dimensional fighter, right? He has power, but he fades in the second half of the fight. Well, what's David Benavidez's biggest advantage? His fucking motor. And he can give you anger. And he punches a lot. Well, what's Anthony Yarde's weakness? Guys that has a motor and guys that can punch a lot. And I got a feeling if David started going to that body, now you're talking about sucking the wind out the muscle. Man, this is easy for me, man. If David don't stop him, he beats this dude, man. I got this fight. Shit. It's gonna be a fucking shutout, or Anthony Yarde may win one round, man.
Man, look, bro. This nigga said he didn't fight Sergey Kovalev. He fought Sergio Kovalev, nigga. Damn.
I actually thought.
I said, yo,
I'm saying Sergio, nigga. That nigga name was Sergio Kovalev. Nigga.
I was actually gonna go a step worse. He fought the version of Kovalev that would be like the version of Miguel Cotto that lost to the dude from New York.
Saddam Ali.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. That
trash. Saddam Ali. I didn't like him in the amateurs, bro. Him and the Arroyo brothers. I didn't like neither one of them niggas, bro. They were all trash to me. But anyway, that's something different. All right, man. Who got it next?
I'll take it. I'm actually I'm gonna go way worse than Bo. I think this is TKO9. I can't see Yard getting pressured like that and not getting stopped, because the one thing that Benavidez is consistent with, he's coming to you. He's going to keep stepping to you. So him fighting a guy with stamina issues that he can hit, yeah, he's not gonna one shot him or nothing crazy like that. But he's gonna constantly be hitting the dude everywhere. So I don't see a scenario where you don't get a stoppage. And it's not power based. It's just the fact, how are you not gonna have accumulation? So I go TKO somewhere right before we get to the championship rounds.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, y'all gotta remember that nigga Anthony Yarde when he fought Sergio Kovalev, bro. That fight, by the time he got knocked out by that fucking jab, that fight looked like Kimbo Slice versus Dada 5000 and shit, nigga. Both them motherfuckers tired as fuck, almost died in the ring and shit, bro. Swinging and shit, falling over. This is Anthony Yarde, guys. I'm just saying, man. And then, like Bo said, he lost to Lyndon Arthur. And Lyndon Arthur beat that nigga with one punch. It was a jab, bro. That's it. Now, I get it. He avenged his loss twice, but it's Lyndon Arthur. What does that really mean, guys? Zoe, I think you beat Lyndon Arthur, nigga. Just saying, man. Who got it next?
I'll go because I have to get off here, so let me go. So, you guys are piling on Yard pretty hard. So, somebody gotta be an accountant, his lawyer and defend him. Like Yard, he's
Why?
athletic. Yard's athletic. He has a decent shoulder roll. He has a decent counter because
This nigga
Benavidez
said,
has such terrible footwork and sometimes back up in straight lines. The 1-2 or the 2-1's always going to be available because Benavidez doesn't have good work. So that's always going to be available. We saw that shit in the Morel fight. We saw that shit in the Killer Plant fight. We saw that shit in the Demetrius Andrade fight. And then we also know that we also know that Benavidez doesn't set his feet all the time, so he can be you can also set traps and catch him. Unfortunately, 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 Yard sucks, so
Anthony
none of that
Yarde's
shit
gonna set his
matters.
trap. That shit's funny, nigga.
Unfortunately, none of that shit matters. Yard sucks. The last fight where Yard displayed any of these type of skills was against a motherfucker named Nikolai Stikovakovaka. You feel me? You don't know who that is. There's a reason. That's the last time he showed anything. The mistake Yard makes way too many mistakes. He throws the same punches repetitively. Against somebody like Yard's gonna. Against somebody like Benavidez, gonna time and counter the fuck out your ass. He disengaged the same way every fucking time. He's either gonna do an L step or he's gonna go back in straight lines. We seen a slow ass nigga like Better
I
Beef caught him consistently every time he did that shit. And then what I said about Benavidez doesn't set his feet. Benavidez one of those rare niggas that even if his feet ain't set, he still finds a way to catch motherfuckers fucking spinning
Yeah.
off. So he's gonna fuck this nigga up anyways. And in Yard, he always get frozen with feints and he can catch him. And then when he goes back in a linear line, when he goes straight back, he's always open for the overhand right. He's a tailor-made to get knocked out in 4 to 5 rounds. So I'm taking Benavidez in 5 rounds, and I try my best to make a case for Yard. Still better than Norman.
Oh, all right, now I'm not laughing at that shit, nigga. That's getting ridiculous. what you got, Jay?
Man, this fight is about as competitive as a fucking hungry ass hawk with that sees a black rat on a white pavement with no legs. That's how competitive this shit is. Like
Easy.
it's gonna be easy work, man. It's just gonna be easy work. I think yeah, I think he blazes them out in about round 6, maybe 7. But I think about round 6. I think round 1 to 2 will be somewhat competitive. But I just think that between the work rate, them shoulder rolls ain't gonna do shit. He may catch Benavidez, but I think once he catches him and it doesn't really affect him, it's gonna be a whole different ball game in his mind. I think that might take him out a little mentally. But I just think that the work rate is just going to be way too much. The off rhythm punching, the angles. I just think it's just way too much it's going to be way too much. So I think
Yeah.
he goes out in about round 5
I mean,
by stoppage.
yeah, by obliteration. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really have a breakdown, man. To me, this fight is
Shit,
basically
that's too easy. No. That shit is too easy. It's too easy. No. Shit is too easy. But
that's this fight right here. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying, dog. Like, I'm looking at Benavidez like, hey, this better look just like you versus J. Leon Love, nigga. It better look exactly the same, bro. Like, and listen, there's nothing that Anthony Yarde can bring to the ring except power against David Benavidez. And David Benavidez can give two shits about how hard you fucking hit, bro. He don't give a damn about that. He's too seasoned. He's too experienced. He's too skilled to give a shit about you and your fucking power that really doesn't have any foundation behind it, right? And when I say foundation, I mean Anthony Yarde, from what I've heard, doesn't watch film. And what I know, he doesn't spar. So not only have you never been in a ring with a nigga like David Benavidez, you're not even preparing yourself to be in a ring with a nigga like David Benavidez in training. Like, so that's like me go picking a nigga out in the street and basically giving that nigga $10 to beat his ass, and then somebody else pays me $100 just to see it. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go pick up that nigga under the overpass under 35, nigga. Go get that nigga, give him $10, and then you pay me $100. I'll beat his ass. That's exactly what this fight is, bro. A world-class nigga versus a bum is what it is. British nigga's gonna be pissed. There's nothing Anthony Yarde has ever showed me in his career other than, hey, he should fight Joshua Buatsi. That's it. That's the only thing I ever wanted from Anthony Yarde, was him to have a all-British showdown with fucking Joshua Buatsi. At this point in time, they might as well have it now. Buatsi getting his ass whooped by Callum Smith. They should fight now. Why is he fighting David Benavidez? What the fuck are they doing over there in the UK? Get Anthony Yarde versus Joshua Buatsi, bro. They've been asking for that fight for forever. I'm in the United States saying, yeah, let's watch that shit. Even though Yarde then got his ass whooped by a one-handed nigga and a Russian that turned into a Mexican, right? The nigga Sergio Kovalev now. At the end of the day, that's still a good fight, in my opinion. But David Benavidez, nah, man. I don't look at the rankings, but I think Yarde is ranked pretty high because he's won like his last 4 fights or so. I think that's why he might be ranked pretty high and why he's getting this Benavidez fight. But these ranking systems need to have better awareness, bro. Like, you can't put a nigga like Anthony Yarde up there to be in a position to fight a monster like David Benavidez and go, oh yeah, that's a good fight. Let's make it. Come on, guys. Yeah, let Anthony Yarde fight Lyndon Arthur a 4th time or some shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Joshua Buatsi, those fights need to happen. Get what's that guy's name? John Ryder out of retirement. I know John Ryder's a trainer right now. Maybe if you give him enough money to fight Anthony Yarde, maybe he comes out of retirement, moves up to 175, fights Anthony Yarde. Those are the guys he needs to fight. Top level fighters, he can't beat those guys. He cannot beat them. Hell, Anthony Yarde may need to go up to cruiserweight because there's no top level fighters there, with the exception of my guy from Australia or New Zealand. What's his name?
Jayo Patel.
Huh?
Jayo Patel.
Jai Patel. Except him. That's it. Right? All the guys that were at cruiserweight either moved up to heavyweight or retired. So you got Jayo Patel. That's it. Nobody else. Maybe he should move up there. He got a shot. Hell, what was that African nigga's name that had the WBC belt for like 25 fucking years and Canelo was trying to fight him? I forgot his name. Don't really care about his name. Doesn't matter. Point is, he held the belt for a long ass time. Hell, washed up Badu Jack went up there and beat that nigga for his belt. And he was a damn WBC cruiserweight champion for like 15 years. He might still be a champion. I don't even know. But the point is, cruiserweight is a division that doesn't really have anybody in it. They were popping like 10 years ago when they had Usyk and Murat Gassiev, right? They had those guys in there. But those guys have since gone at this point. So it's no longer popping. So if Anthony Yarde ever wants to be a champion, go to cruiserweight, dog. Don't get in the ring with no David Benavidez, because what's going to happen in that fight is he's going to take years off your career. That's what's going to happen. If you had 3 years left after this weekend, when David Benavidez knocks your ass out within 5 rounds, now you got 1 year left. That's basically what happened. This nigga took the life expectancy off your fucking career, bro, after this Saturday. Just an unnecessary fight for this guy who's ill-prepared and has been an ill-prepared fighter his entire professional career to be getting in the ring with a guy of the fucking caliber of David Benavidez. This better be a wash. I'm going to be looking at David Benavidez like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing? Why didn't you knock this nigga out?
You know what makes this even funnier? What I'm laughing at? There are people on Twitter that are saying Yarde has action at stopping Benavidez. And while we were doing this, I looked at the odds. The odds look just like what we talked about, so it's pointless. But they're really like, go to Twitter just for a good laugh, or I should say X, for a good laugh. And there are people really like standing 10 toes down on Yarde getting an upset. And don't even think it's an upset.
Man,
on boxing pages.
I seen it on our page on Facebook, man. I seen some British niggas roll up in there talking about Anthony Yarde about to win. I seen a nigga say Anthony Yarde was gonna expose Benavidez. I'm like, expose what? What is he supposed to expose that David Morrell couldn't fucking expose, that Caleb Plant couldn't expose? What the fuck is he supposed to expose? And how would he expose it? Like, this nigga,
you know what? A lot of people, for whatever reason, just don't like Benavidez. I can't figure out what it is, but there are a lot of people who really don't like him. So I think that's what that is that you're seeing.
Yeah. This is bad, bro. Like, I don't know, man, but this is a straight up tune up. It's just like hey, welcome back to boxing, David. You know, we know you're trying to get the winner of the Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol trilogy. So just go ahead, stay active. Like what Floyd told Larry Merchant. Larry Merchant was bitching about his opponents and shit when he was down there at 140 and 135 and 140 and moving up to 147. And he's like, you're supposed to fight this guy. And he's like, hell, if these niggas don't want to get in the ring with me, I got to fight the next best guy. And if the next best guy don't want to get in the ring with me, I got to fight the best one after that. That's where David Benavidez is right now. He's fighting probably the next best guy after the next best set of guys. That's what he's doing while he waits on Beterbiev and Bivol 3. Essentially is what's happening here. And Canelo too, by the way, because he did say some shit about Canelo. So he talked about Canelo. It doesn't matter how many times he loses. It's still a big fight. People still want to see him beat his ass. And I agree. I still want to see Benavidez beat the shit out of Canelo. I don't care about him losing to Terence Crawford. I already knew that was going to happen. I still want to see the Benavidez fight. I want to see it because I want to see Canelo drop his sack, bro. That's what I want to see. Drop your nuts, nigga, and fight Benavidez like you were supposed to. You didn't fight Demetrius Andrade. Fight him then.
I like the fact that Canelo's being pressured for this, because the fact is he signed a $400 million contract, bigger than the one Floyd even got, before pay-per-view back ends. So he can't really, not logically that I can see, duck his way to getting the whole payday. Like, he's either going to have to take a risk or he's going to have to show us who he really is, and that is duck his way out the side door. I love this pressure.
Yep, exactly. Right, Foss, he said, lions in the camp. What did they be saying? Lions in the camp. Nigga, shut the fuck up, bro. Lions in what camp? It's you and your trainer, nigga. That's it. What lions? And that should be corny as hell. I can't think of his trainer's name. Bo interviewed that nigga like 100 times and shit in the past. But that motherfucker be holding the mitts and shit. And Anthony Yarde be hitting him. This nigga be shaking his hand, taking the mitt off. Man, get that shit out of here, bro. Ain't nobody worried about no Anthony. Man, this should be easy work. Virtuoso, I don't know what the fuck you drinking. This nigga said Benavidez is overrated. I have no idea what the fuck you drinking, bro. This nigga is not overrated, bro. And there's no way that Yarde upsets the apple cart. What apple cart? The only way Yarde upsets the apple cart is if he don't get knocked out. That's how he upsets that's Tunde Ajayi. Thank you. That's how he don't upset the apple cart, man. Is if he don't get knocked out, bro. That's how he upsets it. Because everybody watching this shit that knows David Benavidez and the skills that he possesses, this should be an easy fucking knockout win. So, like I said, if he don't knock him out, I'm gonna be looking at him like, all right, what the fuck was he trying to do here? This nigga trying to get rounds in and some shit. What was this? But y'all got anything else on this, man?
Nah, I ain't.
Yeah, it should be
self-explanatory.
Should be straight up. All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and end it right here. We're gonna try to possibly come back on after the fights and talk about who, what's next for each fighter and the results and all that type of stuff. So we may or we may not. Just stay tuned. Look for the notifications on the channel. We'll have the live stream up as an upcoming event if we do decide to do that. But yeah, just turn the notifications on. Try to get notified when shit pops off. And you know what I'm saying? You'll be in listening to what we got to say. All right, man. For everybody on panel, man, thank you guys for joining. Until the next one, we out this bitch.
Right. Peace.